all I remember was going through a paddock. It was like little mounds of dirt and grass and stuff everywhere. And I think I must have hit like a hidden stone or a rock behind a bit of a grass mound or something. And all I remember was a really hard thud. And then basically waking up and coming to really around in the hospital in Palm Springs, California. And then all then I could really tell him was like, yeah, my neck feels like really weak. Like I can move my neck a little bit and it's just doesn't feel like nothing's connected on my neck really. And it's like I've just pulled all the muscles on my neck and really weak. So then they basically took me in for a CT scan and everything. And then they wheeled me back into the room. And as soon as I basically got back to the room, they just barged in flat out and had a full big halo system there in their hands and said, you've broke your neck, lay completely still, don't move. Then just bolted this thing on my head straight away, like no anesthetic, no numbing, no nothing. It was like straight away instant pain. That was more painful than an actual broken neck.
And you're there by yourself at this stage?
Yeah, I'm there by myself at this stage. So yeah, my parents were back here in Australia, and then the team was still finishing up the race and the event. So there was nobody around. They just said, we need to stabilize you or you're probably going to end up in a wheelchair. It's like you're a hairline fracture away from being in a wheelchair. So it's, panic stations and crazy story. Then all the insurance and stuff that I had in place, they were able to get a clause in the contract somewhere to basically opt out of it, get out of the whole situation. And then
so you didn't have medical coverage then in the United States, which is a dangerous path to go down.
Exactly, and especially in America anyway, because it's there. Anyone that complains about the medical system here in Australia, like I nearly want to yell at them and shake some sense into them, because we've got it really quite good here in Australia. And in America, they basically just said, if you don't, it's going to cost $500,000. If you
$500,000?
Yep, $500,000. And I was like, at that stage, I think I was like 22, 23, I think it was. And I was like, at that age, I don't have that type of money. Even if I sold my house and my car, or I think even at that stage, I didn't even have a house. I had a caravan. I was like, if I sold my caravan and my car, I said, I've got no chance. Like, so they're like, oh, well, sweet, we'll just leave you as that, and it'll heal the way it is, but you're going to be kind of buggered for life. And that was it. So it was like, then I had to get on a plane and fly back home to Australia, like normal Qantas flight. I had to get a business class seat so I could have a bit more room, and flew back into Brisbane.
With the halo on?
Yep, with the halo and everything on. So I looked like Frankenstein coming in this.
How's the flight?
The old, flight, and then I had 13-14 hour flight, whatever it was, back home to Australia.
How was that?
And that was rough. That was probably the hardest part of a lot of it, just trying to sit still and not move and be in pain. And it was a rough old ride. I actually ended up getting the two rods that went up out the back of the halo system bit, and I got that actually wedged up into the seat of the business class seat, and I couldn't get out of the seat eventually there. So
Jeez.
it was a rough one. But then I landed in Brisbane, Anzac morning. Basically, then I caught a taxi.
A taxi with your halo on?
With a halo on. So old mates look at me quite strange and weird.
I bet he was.
He's like, what the hell? He said he drove really slow that day, and I'm like, mate, just get me to the hospital. I need to get fixed. So it was went to Brisbane Private Hospital. Dr. Paul Lucina basically looked at me at about 8 o'clock in the morning, and then at 11 o'clock in the morning, so a few hours later, I was on the operating table and getting all bolted back together.
And what was the conversation? Because this is the gist of what all you guys do. What was the conversation about? If you continue down this path with your career, this could happen, because most of you guys and girls get to this point at some stage.
Yes, for sure. Like that was my first kind of question. It's like, hey, I want to ride a motorcycle again. I want to race again. Is this possible or anything? And coming from the doctors in America, they're like, nah, your life's never going to be the same, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be completely different for you. To then seeing Paul, he was like, looked at all the scans. He said, I reckon I'll definitely get you fixed up. And he said, I'll get you back riding a motorcycle, no problem. So I was like, that straight away just changed your mindset that and put me in such a better place. And then had the surgery, got everything done. He was super happy with how everything was done. And then that was the next question. It was like, all right, sweet. Now that I'm fixed, like if I do have that next crash or the next accident, what's the chances? And he said, well, he said, how long's a bit of string? He said, 1 minute it could be, yeah, you could make one crash and you'll be completely fine. And another time it's not going to go your way. And it is what it is. He said, yeah, I can't give you that exact answer. He said, it's definitely strong enough to take crashes and be all good. But he said, yeah, you land that awkward position like you have done now to put you into this place. He said, it's probably going to happen again. Like, it's just, if you want to take that risk, the risk is going to be there, but you're going to be able to still do what you want to do if you want to go racing. So it was, yeah, definitely reassuring. There was, like I say, there's always a risk no matter what, riding a motorcycle. So it's, I was like, oh, well, I've taken it now for the last, 15, 20 years. So what's another attempt at it? So yeah, it was kind of good. A bit of an inspiring story, I guess, too. Like a lot of people get in, and even myself, I get into a little hole and sometimes, and just, it seems like a bit of a dark place to be. And, able to dig your way out. And I think, people seeing the story, that be able to come back from something so serious, you see messages from people going like, oh, I've read your story and blah, blah, blah. And it's super inspiring, and it gives me hope that like I'll get back to doing the things that I want to do. And it's cool. And it wasn't at that point that I wanted to prove to people or do anything. I just knew I still had more pages to fill in my book. And then, just wanted to continue racing.
Hey guys, Howie here. Thank you so much for watching the Howie Games YouTube channel. We appreciate your support. Now, if you want to hear the full podcast, you can just click on the link directly below. If you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, which would be fantastic, bang, click right there. And if you want to see more clips, highlights and updates from the Howie Games, just go that way. Thanks so much. As always, take it easy and peace and love.